Good morning, I'm Robert Tan. Let's unlock the tricks of the trade, get to know the brilliant minds who changed their industries and created innovations that continue to influence lives. Be inspired here on Trade Talks, My Milyonaryo. While still in school, some students may already know what career path they will choose when they graduate, but there are still those who remain undecided even after graduation. What they need is the proper information and guidance in order for them to make the right decision. And that's where Team Aguhon comes in. What is Team Aguhon and what does it actually do? To answer these questions and more, we are joined in the studio by Brent Reodica. He's the CEO of Team Aguhon. Good morning, Brent. Welcome to My Milyonaryo.
Morning, Robert. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, on a rainy day.
Yeah.
Okay, Brent, let's start with this. You know, you started out in engineering in UP, but made a bold shift to film. What were your parents' reactions and what made that move? And how did it affect you at that time?
Yeah, I think there were two big reactions. The first one, they were really puzzled. Like, what are you doing? You're in third year and you want to go to... Yeah, third year. Oh. And I wanted to go to film. And I explained to them that it's something that I asked myself, do I really want to do this for the next 30 years of my life? So I decided that, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go for something that I enjoy, right? Second reaction was concern. I really saw it on their face, like, what are you doing?
Oh, one more year, diba?
Exactly. And, two more years.
Two more years.
Yeah,
okay.
And you know, I think the biggest, the reason why they were, like all parents, the biggest concern was, how are you gonna make money there? Is there really money there, right? And I think a lot of parents would feel the same way if they were in the same situation.
Violent reaction, but how did you convince them?
I had to tell them the different kinds of path in film, like, okay, if you want to go cinematography, this is what will happen, and how much you will be earning, because I think that's very important for parents.
Okay, so now that bold move in film, now you said you had to finish your thesis in film. You didn't ask help from your parents. Now, instead, you earned it. You said you went through network marketing. So how much did you need for your thesis, and how did that experience teach you about money, teach you about pressure and independence?
Yeah. I needed, that time, it was not yet as expensive, 150,000.
Oh, mahal pa rin yun, ah.
Sa bagay. But you know, I didn't know when, that time. I just went into film. I didn't research. I didn't do anything. Like, okay, I want to take up film. Then when I got there, I found out that we had to make a short film. And I needed money for that. So, because we were, my parents are both working, but three of us were in college that time.
At that time, oh.
Yeah, so my parents, I knew they were having a tough time. They were really making an effort to send us to, of course, to school, and I didn't want to burden them with
and
that.
And 150,000 pesos is a lot of money.
I know, like, I can't imagine, like, paying 150, right? So I didn't want that to happen. So I had to find a way to earn the money. And what I realized, first, that I didn't know how to earn money. Because it's not taught in school, right? It's not taught in school. That's the first realization that I had. Second realization was that I needed skills. Like, okay, so because, you know, when we're studying, right, these are subjects, right? And that totally changed my perspective about school. Like, these subjects I'm taking so I can gain skills. So I can use those skills in the real world and I can execute things, and I can make money, get paid for that, because I can now give value.
And lalo na you're still in school, it's hard to get a job. Now, how did you get into network marketing?
A friend invited me because they knew I was looking for a way to earn, so I had to ask people, because I didn't know how, right? My only option that time was to get a part-time job, but I knew when I computed, it won't add up to 250, right? So I was willing to explore. It was my first foray into something other than employment. So I learned that, okay, I didn't know anything about this. I had to study the whole thing. I had to learn twice. And, you know, being in school and working, you know, I always tell my students, if you're working and you are studying,
Yes.
I think you are way ahead of everyone because just the pressure of keeping those two,
yeah.
that makes you a better
Because
person.
you learn traditionally and also you also learn by doing.
Yeah, correct. So a lot of it was just going out there and trying things out and gaining the skills, which was difficult because I felt that, I felt that I was intelligent. So it told me that, hey, there's so much in the world that you don't know yet, Brent. And I had to learn it there on the spot. I had to get my hands dirty.
Daming confusion.
Sobra, sabay-sabay.
So before we go on more on that journey, let's rewind a little bit to when Team Aguhon was just a speck of an idea in your head. When was this and what was the original vision? Take us through the business idea in a nutshell.
Yeah. Okay. The original idea came from my own experience because I had to keep finding out what career is for me. Because I think a lot of students go through that question where we're in high school, when we are in college, we go through that question, right? And when I found out, while I was working, when I found out that, hey, not a lot of people actually know what they're gonna do, and there is no structure. The help is very minimal. I don't know if you experienced it, but
Lack of guidance. No?
yeah, in high school, what schools would normally do is they just have one person talk about their careers and then expect the students after 1 hour. Okay, now you know what to do. Go ahead, do it, right? And we felt that we could do something better than that, right? So I felt that we can go back. Okay, these are what we did. These are what worked, and there is a framework we can actually use.
During that time when that idea came up, what were you doing? Were you already a graduate? Were you working?
Yeah, for that time I was working for a TV station that time, and I was taking care. I was handling 2 channels at that time, and when I observed the people around me, I noticed that a lot of them also came from different degrees. And so I told myself, okay, it's not just me. There are a lot of people having a hard time with career. And when I did a little digging, there's actually no framework for choosing your career. So I thought, okay, maybe if I unlock this and then I go back to the schools and teach students, somehow they'll have a semblance of a plan, and we can shorten the journey of finding out the careers that will make them happy and they would feel fulfilled in those careers.
So during this time when you had the idea, you were still working at a 9-to-5 job. You said you started pitching the concept to schools. Now, what happened during that very first pitch to a school? Was it easy? Did it shake you?
Yeah, it was because we were so excited, right? I was so excited. Like, okay, I know they'll understand this, but lo and behold, I got a blank face. Like, what is this? What are you pitching? I don't understand this because most schools are still very traditional, and they didn't understand what we were trying to do. And I was telling them this is a program, and so it was something foreign. Like I was pitching something so radical that they couldn't understand it.
If you remember, what was the first pitch? You said it's about career development. What were you offering to them that they did not understand?
First, they couldn't grasp the idea of that, hey, we're going to have a workshop, not a talk. So like, okay, what are you going to do inside a workshop? And it's what, 3.5 hours? Like, what are you going to do there? So it was a very foreign concept. But in my mind, because, when we're working, we know that companies would have, trainings for the employees, right? And I wanted to bring that to the schools. Like, hey, we can do this also. And, students are very much willing to learn if they know that they need it, and we present it in a very engaging way.
What did they say?
Okay, we don't understand this. I'm sorry. Maybe we'll think about it. We got a lot of, yeah, we'll think about it. I'll bring this up to the principal or to the school head. But we never got callbacks. And that was a whole, 6 months of going to schools.
But the very first pitch you had, that must have been a very tough moment, a very hard pill to swallow. Now, going after that, how many cold calls did you have to make before one school actually said yes?
I forgot the number, but I knew I was holding I knew I was holding a list of more than 5 pages of schools. Yeah, so I just kept calling, and then I was trying to refine the way I was telling them what we will be presenting. So it really taught me that having a product market fit, they also have to understand we have to use the language that they're using, so they understand, like, what is this that you're presenting and where does this go. So I think at that stage what I didn't understand was I felt so creative, but I had to speak the language of the clients. We got to know how they would understand it so they can be more open.
Was also one of the obstacles maybe is because your background is not education. Your background, you started electrical engineering, then film, then your job in media, and then now gusto mo career development naman and try to place it in schools. So could that have been an obstacle as well?
Definitely, because I felt that that time I felt that it was an advantage. Like, I'm not from the school system. I'm gonna teach. I'm gonna help you with career development, and that was the idea. But it turned out that it was actually not helping me that time.
So how long before you got that first yes? And when you got that first yes, what did it confirm for you on that point in time in your journey?
Yeah, I believe it was around 6 to 8 months probably before it was a lot of no's. Yeah, whole lot of no's. And when
people would give up.
I know. A lot of people would feel disheartened. But I was I feel that because it was something that is from my experience, I felt that I would really want to push this because it's a mission. It's not just a business to me. It's a mission. It's an extension of as a purpose that I have. So I kept on going at it. And what I realized first when we got the first business, yes, it could work. Yeah, it could work. So there was this already big possibility. Okay, finally, someone understood. So that was the first lesson for me. Second was that I needed to find the right clients. Because not all clients are the same. We feel that they're the same.
But before we continue with that, Brent, we're just going to take a short break. You're watching Trade Talks, My Milyonaryo. Welcome back to Trade Talks, My Milyonaryo. We continue our conversation with Brent Reodica. He's the CEO of Team Aguhon. Now, Brent, before the break, you were saying you have to find the right clients. But take us back first on that first yes, the school. What made them say yes, and how did that feel?
Well, I believe what made them say yes, if I remember correctly, was that they were willing to innovate. So that taught me that, okay, not all clients are the same. And it felt great that, okay, if I go through the numbers, there are educators here who are willing to innovate. They want to be done with the old. They want to see something different for the students. And I think what also made them say yes was that a lot of students were getting bored with the old ways. So they didn't want the talks anymore. They don't listen anymore. So because our innovation was like, okay, we want to do a workshop and we want to do it per class. We don't do it large groups like what we used to do way back. Like everyone's in the gym and then you listen to the speaker. We did it differently. We did interactive, it's student-centered. The language is for students, so they understand it. The whole framework is designed for students. So I think that made them see that, okay, we could try this. And in the beginning, it was not a solid yes. It was a small Christian school, and they just wanted to see if it will work for their students. And I believe that gave us the idea that, okay, we are looking for these kinds of educators, the ones that are willing to innovate and be more progressive and be student-centered.
How did that work for you from that first yes until a few months after?
It was still very difficult. I gotta admit, it was still very difficult because finding the progressive ones is not easy. It's because again, I'm not from the school system, so it was going in cold. We were trying out. We were just going through the numbers. It was a numbers game for us because we didn't know yet where to find them, how to approach them. So it was a lot of learning, adjusting throughout the way.
So now let's talk about the name Team Aguhon. It's very unique. Why that name? What does it literally mean, and what does it mean to you?
Okay, if you're not familiar, if you know the compass, right? The one used for direction, the needle of the compass in Filipino, that's Aguhon.
Aguhon.
Yeah, because we felt that
okay.
it symbolized, represented the mission we have, because the original vision was to build a nation with direction.
Okay. Find your way, like a compass.
Yeah,
exactly.
And the mission was to help students help themselves so they can find rewarding, fulfilling careers. Because we wanted to find a way for us to make a dent in society. Because there are so many problems already. This part, we want to take care of this. It's something that we really wanted to contribute to the society. Because we felt that if we can do this, if we can just make this person fulfilled, then that's one less person to worry about, and everybody's going to be happier.
What you're doing in terms of trying to build career development in schools, are you the only ones doing this, or is there competition outside? Are there others who are doing this as well?
We believe there is an indirect competitor. They're not doing the same way that we're doing it. There is a competitor, and although I only know of I think there are 2 so far. So so we really, what we did was to give more value. We didn't want to do more of the same. We wanted to find more ways to make it valuable for the students, for the school, for the other stakeholders like the parents.
Yeah, the parents.
Yeah, the parents.
Yeah.
So
how are they involved in this? Like, of course, you know, when a student goes to school, they have a certain what they want, but also there's a certain point that what their parents want, and also what the school sees that you should be doing.
Yeah.
So you put all the stakeholders together. How does that happen in your workshops?
Yeah, we created a framework so all of them would have a certain part. So because the program happens for a whole school year, we have time to go through the students, and we have something for the parents. Because in the beginning there wasn't anything for the parents, but the schools kept on asking us, Sir Brent, we gotta talk to the parents because the parents are evolving as well, and these are young parents, right?
Yeah.
And the times are changing. The recommendations of the parents are usually, not all, but usually the recommendations of the parents are the old careers. But the world is evolving, especially after the pandemic. It's a whole different world out there, right? So we want to help them find ways to assist their children. Because you know what's happening? Parents are trying to help. I know they're trying to help, but it adds more pressure to the kids because there's something, like what you said, there's something that they want.
Yeah.
So merging that, we had to include the parents, create a seminar for them so they can also, so we have the same language, we're using the same language, using the same framework, so they can help the way that we're helping the students as well.
Right now, you've been doing this for several years now. Do you have data on the success rate on the students finding the right career after your workshop? What's the feedback from the schools, the students, and the parents when you have these workshops embedded in their schools?
You know, it's something that I discovered late, because before I didn't want to go into the educational system because I feel it was so difficult. Like, why would I go there? My grandmother was a teacher, so difficult. And when I got there, I've finally discovered why education is not just a job for a lot of people inside the industry. It's a vocation. Because, you know, when students message us, like, this is what I'm doing right now, this is what we talked about before, tanggal pagod. It's something.
Is there some sort of data that you have that the schools
That's
have?
what we're working on
You're
right
working
now,
on
because
right
the schools
because that would be a good
Yeah.
basis of whether it's working or not.
Interesting that you ask, because a lot of our partners are already helping us with that. Like, okay, let's start doing that as well, so we can also tell the students.
Now let's take it back a little bit. Now you've looking at these successes. Looking back, how much have you changed as a person, as a leader? What was your mindset back then when you were still choosing what career or um, uh, school you're going to. How is it different now?
Before, I feel like the biggest difference for me was knowing the stage of the business that I was at. So that time, because I was reading a lot of books, so I would take on the mindset of authors from big companies, CEOs of multi-million dollar corporations, and it was very different from my face. And so I think that was a big difference. Finding out what I need to do right now is very important, and what skills I need right now at that phase of the business. Because if I am going to apply what...
before you were a bit confused pa.
Yeah, I would take something from, like, for example, I would read Howard Schultz, and then I'd try to apply it. But of course, he's running a multi-billion dollar business, and it's different from the stage of my business. So I had to find a way to, prioritize the values that I had to practice at that time, and the skills that I needed at that time. Those were I think, the biggest difference.
Now, Brent, let's talk about numbers. When did you find that this business was enough for you to quit your job? When did you reach your first million? How long? And how did that feel? Just very quick.
Yeah, I didn't find out. Maybe I was crazy. Like, okay, we have 3 clients, it's time to jump. No, it's not something that I'd recommend, because it's difficult when there's no, the product market fit isn't there yet, and the money isn't constant yet, the clients are not constant yet, are not there yet. So I wouldn't recommend that, but I did that, I think, after getting the first 3 clients. And
how did it feel? You reached your first million by that time?
No, before.
Before?
That was before. Yeah, that's why I don't recommend it. It's not easy. It's not easy, because a lot of times you'll be really questioning, why did I go into this?
But now you've reached 41,000 students, around 20 schools under the company. What's the dream? How many more students are you trying to help in their careers? What's the dream? What's the target?
The dream is to train to help 1 million students.
1 million. How do you think you can get there?
Of course, we want to first scale up our operations as well, because we want to train the right people and scale up our operations. And I believe I have to evolve as well as a leader, because I have to know how to handle that kind of operations, because it's a different scale, right? So when we move to a different scale, we also have to grow as a person, different set of skills, different mindset also.
And Brent, finally, for those watching right now, just quick, what are the 3 lessons from your journey that you think might help our viewers who are also thinking, what career am I going to do? Just quick, three quick lessons.
First, know the area that you want to pursue and find out the work mode. And we call this the work mode. Are you going to be in employment? Are you going to be in freelance? Are you going to be in business? Because the second one is you got to know the skills that you need to get there, because those require different skills, right? So that's the second. And then the third, I believe the lesson is to also support yourself. Keep yourself, keep learning, protect your mindset. If you need to read every day to do that, do that.
Yes,
be our number one. We got to be our number one supporter, right? Because if not,
very good advice, Brent. A lot of lessons learned. I hope a lot of students will be helped to find what careers they will really have after this. So it's a very noble thing that you're doing here, and good luck.
Thank you. And that's our wish as well. That's our prayer as well.
Thank you, Brent, for joining us. And that's today's show. Catch us again on Trade Talks My Milyonaryo for inspiring stories like these of entrepreneurs and innovators and the secrets to their success. I'm Robert Tan. Keep it here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.